Hey everybody, this is Mrs. Morgan coming to you live from my dining room table in Eagan. Our SOABAT for this evening is to add and subtract rational numbers. And when I say rational numbers today, I'm going to be referring to fractions and decimals of the positive and negative variety. We're in Chapter 0, Section 4, adding and subtracting rational numbers. Go ahead and get your paper set up, divide it down the middle, and have your questions and your notes and work sections ready. And the first question that we're going to talk about is how do you add or subtract fractions? And the important thing for you to remember is for addition or subtraction, you need to get a common denominator. It's very important, so we're going to highlight that fact. And I just hit the camera. And our first example is going to show you that. So we'll have 7/8 minus 3/8. And this is a common denominator situation because both of our numbers on the bottom are the same. And when you are in that situation, your denominator is going to stay the same, and all you have to do is subtract or add your top numbers. In this case, we're doing 7 minus 3, which is 4. And we're just not quite done yet because 4 over 8, both of them divide by 4. And my final answer is 1 over 2. In our next example, we have 4/5 plus 7/10. And you'll notice that our number on the bottom, our denominator, is different. So we're going to handle that situation. And what we do is we look for something that both 5 and 10 go into. Well, 10. So we're going to change this first fraction, but the nice thing is the second fraction stays the same. So our 5, we multiply 5 by 2 to change it to 10, and it's really important that if we multiply 5 by 2, we take our 4 times 2 as well, and that changes to 8. So we have 8 plus 7 equals 15 over 10. There's a couple of simplifying pieces that we can do here. 10 goes into 15 one whole time with 5 left over, so we have 1 5/10, but we're going to change that. We're going to divide by 5, divide by 5 for 1 1/2. So now, in our next problem, we're going to see negatives, and we're also going to see different denominators. Yeah, I know I changed the problem. So we need something that both 8 and 12 go into. Oh, here, we'll set this up over here first. So we need something that both 8 and 12 go into, and 8 and 12 both go into what, Mr. Morgan?
24.
24. Yeah, he didn't know that he was going to get called upon to help me with my lesson here.
What a twist.
I know. So we're going to change both of these into 24 on the bottom, and we multiply 8 times 3 to get 24, and so we're going to take negative 7 times 3, and 7 times 3 is 21, and so we just keep that negative on it. Our minus sign just comes down for right now, and to turn 12 into 24, that's times 2. And so we take negative 3 times 2, and that's going to get us negative 6. So we've handled our first situation where we have a common denominator. Now the next piece is handling this minus negative situation. So our first number always stays the same. Our minus sign turns into a plus sign, and negative 6 over 24, we're going to take the opposite of that, and we're going to have positive 6 over 24. And now we've rewritten this as an addition problem, so we're going to go back to our positive and negative rules the other day and combine it with what we're doing with fractions. So we're going to have 24 on the bottom, that just comes right across, 21 and 6. 21 is our larger digit and it's negative, so I know my answer is going to be negative. And so I just need to subtract to find out how much. Well, 21 minus 6, Mr. Morgan.
15.
15. So we have negative 15 over 24. And I'm not quite finished yet because I know that both of these divide by 3. It's 3, right?
It's 3.
Okay. 15 divided by 3 is 5, and 24 divided by 3 is 8, and that negative comes right over here, and we have negative 5/8. And that's really about as bad as our fractions are probably going to get for now. So the next piece that we're going to move on to is how do you add or subtract decimals. And for adding and subtracting with decimals, the important thing to remember is that you need to line up your decimal points. Alright, so of course I'm throwing some negatives and positives at you. So we look at negative 38.9 and we're adding positive 4.2. And I have different signs. I look at my digit, and my larger digit, 38.9, is negative, so that I know my answer is going to be negative. So my answer is negative, so I just need to subtract. I'm going to line up my decimal points. So right here is where my decimal point needs to be. I'm going to have 4.2. 9 minus 2 is 7. 38 minus 4 is 34. And bring my decimal point right down. And then my final answer we decided was negative. So I'm going to put my negative right there. Alright, folks, and quick for your summary. I want you to answer what is most important when adding or subtracting fractions and what is most important when adding, subtracting decimals.